Hey Trev, I've made a solid start on the Monash Moodle dynamic banners. I'm running this locally on my own install of Moodle, but we had to migrate this proof of concept over to your staging server when you give me access. So the first thing to note is that this dynamically loads in a banner image. I've used the default banner image I've simply stolen from your public website. If there is an alternative default that you want, please let me know that and I can quickly swap that out. The text is generated from the long description of the Moodle course, and the banner itself is derived from that as well. So if there's no other information available to it, it will use the default. Otherwise, it will use a specific banner. Let me demonstrate that to you. If I go to edit the settings of this, and I'll do a few things. I might as well change the title. I'll copy that into the short name as well. I'm going to move it into a section where you've provided me with a custom banner, for instance, this one here, and I'll save and display that. So a few things you'll notice straight away. The first is that it's picked up the custom banner. It's done that from the breadcrumbs, so it's determined from the breadcrumbs here to apply the banner APG 5018. It's also determined the semester and year of delivery, again from the breadcrumbs. And I should have pointed this out to you, but there's a little hover effect I put on the breadcrumbs themselves. So they're slightly transparent until you mouse over them or give them focus, and then they become solid. And so what in essence the banner's doing, it's pulling apart the breadcrumbs to determine the year, if it's provided, the semester, if it's provided, and effectively the banner image. So in this case, it's this image here. And then it compiles that to display the title, the year and semester, if that's been provided. If not, it just leaves that out. And it's basically doing kind of the functional decoration piece already. In addition to that, for proof of concept purpose, I've created a sort of a switcher. This is something that I'll deploy on your test server so that you can kind of test these things out as they're being developed. So let's go through how that works. I can click on this to effectively switch the banners really quickly. I can also hit Tab and Enter to move through them. So these are the banners that you've provided me so far. Some of them are, I guess, reasonably well suited to this display. Others are not. This one, I took a slice through the image. I'm not certain whether that still conveys the meaning. These ones, I think, probably need some updating. I'm a bit concerned on your behalf about this particular one because it uses a copyrighted graphic. So you might choose to editorialize that one a little bit. But you can see the idea. And I guess now that people will be able to see how images might look in the space, they can better decide on what might be appropriate. To help with that, I've actually provided you 40 additional banner images, just so that as you're working with faculties and schools, etc., you can show them different visual designs. These are all taken from Unsplash, so they're all Creative Commons 0, which means we're fully entitled by copyright to use them. And they just give you some other visual choices here. There's a combination amongst these of both sort of abstract and, I guess, specific images. They're just really a cross-section. There's hundreds of thousands of images in the Unsplash collection, so I've just curated a few that might be kind of interesting and useful for your target audiences. But have a look through those. It's relatively quick for us to swap them out and put more in. I'll just quickly toggle through each one of these so you can get a bit of an idea. Okay, so there's lots to choose from there. But if that choice isn't enough, if they still want additional choices, or particularly if teachers want to be able to swap in their own graphic, I'm now thinking more kind of your faculty designers now. I've created a backdoor for that. If I hit the edit section on this, there's a little bit of hidden JavaScript that you'll see if I go into the editor quickly and turn HTML editing on. Up here it is. So most of this is commented out. There's a few instructions here, and I've got an example. So simply if you comment out this line here, remove the comment, sorry, and then place the URL to whatever banner image you want to inside that function. I've just got a placeholder there for the moment. So if I update this now, and now you'll notice that the banner has been swapped out by that custom image. The other functional requirement you had of me was to dynamically insert font awesome tags wherever a particular shorthand is created. So let me show you that. So if I go into topic 1, I'll just edit this. Now you might remember that font awesome tags always start with FA hyphen. So the way that this is going to work is if you put a square bracket, FA hyphen and whatever the particular icon is. So for instance, star O is an open star, close your brackets. I'll just put some dummy text in here. Save those changes. So now you'll notice that it's actually inserted the font awesome in there. It's put the star in instead of that placeholder. Let's take it to one extra step. There's a couple of interesting sort of enhancements to font awesomes that you can use. If you go into the examples area, you can actually chain together font awesome commands, which can be quite powerful. So for instance, you can, with font awesome, increase the size, you can change layout, you can change positioning, you can have them rotate. And it gives you sample codes here. So for example, if I wanted to have this little rotating cog here, which is this one here, all I'm going to do is copy the magic, which is all of this stuff here, go back over here, oops, into here, open my square brackets, paste in the stuff I just copied, close my square brackets. I can even, if I want to, with this, set the colors of these just by using my normal color picker, and it will honor that. So maybe I want this to be a red. And if I hit Save Changes, there you are, and you've got your red spinner. So I think I'm meeting each one of your functional requirements. The only other one is the one topics, which I will demo up when I have access to your staging server. So the next steps are really at your end. First is to give me access to the technology, particularly to your staging server, initially just as an editing teacher with a sandpit, and progressively additional banner images. Once we have a functional proof of concept on your technology, I'll take it to the next step of providing kind of all the training and support aids so that you can continue to add your own banners.